Okay, so here's a little refresher on what page 5 will look like. This flips up and out and out, and that whole part flips out. And then we've got over here, we've got a double slider, and then this opens out. Okay, so let us begin. The pieces we will need. Piece A is a square at 7.5 by 7.5. Piece B is 7.5 by 8.5 inches. C is 4.5 by 6.5. D is 4 by 6. E is another square at 5 by 5, and 2 F pieces that are 3 3/4 by 5. Okay, so let us get to scoring. Alright, so your A piece, it's a square, so put it in the scoreboard either way and score at half. B will score at half along the 8.5 inch side. So score it at half along the 8.5 inch side. And then you're going to flip it over. So you've still got a half, your 1/2 inch score line is still here, only it's the raised edge instead of the indented edge. It's the mountain now. And you will score it again at 4.5. Okay, so half on one side, flip it over, 4.5 on this side. Alright, so we do this because they're going to be going in opposite directions, these folds. Your C piece, put it in your scoreboard with the 4.5 inch at the top. And again, score at half. Your D piece also gets scored at half, but on the 6 inch side, so the 6 is the top, and score it at half. And your E and F pieces, they just stay as they are. They do not get scored. Alright, so now we are going to add score tape to all of the 1/2 inch sections and then miter the corners. Score tape. And make sure the score tape is on the valley side of your B piece. Alright, now miter the corners of each of those. Just cutting at an angle from the edge to the score line. And the last one. Okay, perfect. Get the little bitties out of the way. Get another base page out. Okay, openings to the left and the right. And fold on the score lines. Your A piece will be going on the right side of your base page. Okay, so on the right hand side here. Perfection. Your B piece fold on the score line, so one half will be going, the half will going back, and then the opposite direction for the 1/2 inch section. Okay. And now we are going to adhere that to the left hand side of the base page. Now piece C is going to go on the left, so open up piece B, and C is going to go on the left hand side here. The left hand side centered top to bottom. So kind of just eyeball it, centered top to bottom, making sure that this will still close. So I've got mine just a smidge over too far. So make sure that it is close to that fold, but not so close that your B piece won't close properly. There you go. So now B will close like that. Or I guess C actually is going over top of it. And now D will adhere to the top of C. Okay, so D goes right at the top of C. So D, C, and then B opens that way, B also opens that way, and A goes like that. Now we're going to set this aside for just a moment, and we're going to bring in our E piece. Using a ruler, we are going to mark a 1/2 inch border. All the way around your E square. So 1/2 inch all the way around. I'm just making some ticks, and then I'm going to connect them all together. Okay, so now draw a line connecting all those little marks you've just made. Alright, so now you've got a square within a square. Okay, is that showing up a little better? And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut a slit right here and cut a slit. Oh no, I'm going to go at the top and the bottom, sorry. Slit at the top, a slit at the bottom, okay? And you want the slit to be about 1/8 of an inch wide. Alright, so take your craft knife, use a ruler if you so desire, or you can just, I'm going to use a ruler. So, oh, I need my craft mat. I need my cutting mat. Okay. So slit, and then then okay, so you've got a little piece like that. Alright, and we'll just cut that out and we'll do another one on the other end here. Okay. Not perfectly straight, but it's okay. Now we'll do one on the other side. One's a little bit wider, but that's all right. I'm gonna maybe make this one slightly straighter. My ruler moved, I guess. Let's try that again. All right, so you should have something that looks like that. And as long as this can fit through, we are good to go. Perfect. All right, now you need a piece of plastic bag. It can be, this is a piece of, this is what one of my paper collections came in. So I'm just going to use that. A shopping bag does just as well, as long as it's soft enough that it will move really easily. Now you need to cut it the width of your F pieces, which are, so you need to be 3 3/4 inch wide. So 3 3/4 inch wide. Oh. I'm just going to cut the end off here to open it up. Okay, so I probably should be using a white bag instead of a clear one to make it easier for you to see. But that's what I have right here handy. So what we're going to do, we are going to feed it through these holes, okay? And we're going to put a piece of score tape on top of the plastic bag at the very end. Okay, so we've got the bag, it's fed through. There is a piece of score tape. This is the very end of my piece of bag, and there's a piece of score tape there. Remove the backing from the score tape. And attach the bag onto itself. And then cut off the excess here. Okay, so now you've got a piece of bag that can move around like that. You've got your bag adhered together right here, so have that part at the bottom. Flip it over, and now put a piece of score tape at the top of your plastic. on the front side. Remove the backing. And adhere one of your F pieces to it. All right, so that it can pull down like that. Okay. Now we're going to flip the whole thing over. Put another piece of score tape right on top of where these two adhere together. Remove the backing. And place, so you've got your one F piece is right here. Okay. And now we're going to put the other F piece on that strip. All right, so this is what you've got. All right, so one F piece is adhered to the top right here. And when you flip it over, the other F piece is adhered, so they're adhered at opposite sides. All right, so like that. Now we are going to adhere this to A. So bring your base page back in. It's going to sit right here. So you want to have adhesive on just 3 sides. So the sides and then the bottom here. All right, so sides and bottom. Okay, so the sides and the bottom. However, you will want to put your piece of patterned paper onto A first. So I'm going with that green plaid kind of action. So let's put that down. All right. And this piece of pattern paper measures 7 1/4 by 6 3/4. Okay, 7 1/4 by 6 3/4. I'm going to put it down. And then we're going to close up this flap so that we know exactly where to position this. There we go. All right, and now we just need to add a few magnets. So we'll add a magnet closing D to C. So a tiny piece of score tape on D. And a couple magnets. Is that 2 or 3? 3. Perfect. And another piece of score tape over top of those magnets. Close it up. So there's D to C. Now we need to do C to B. So one piece of score tape on B. Another couple magnets. Here's one. Two. Another piece of score tape. Close it up. And then B to A. Or I guess B to the base. Well, you could go right on the edge of A, or you could go right to the base page. Let's see. So your choice, really. You could go put one right on the edge of A, and that would work. Or you could open this up, put it on B, and go right down to the base page. Either way will work. I think in the tutorial I have it going to the actual base page, so let's do it that way. So we stay consistent. 2 magnets. Another piece of score tape. So if we close it up now, it would be too close to the edge of A, so we'll open A up and close it down to B. Perfect. Alright, there we go. Now we can just add our patterned paper. So hopefully you followed the instructions on both the PDF and the video tutorial and applied your pattern paper to this piece before you cut these slits. It still works, but it would probably look better if the whole thing was covered. I've got these little bits because I forgot to add the pattern paper first, and so I've paper pieced it together. So you've got these little bits that I suppose I could put little pieces of paper there, but you know, live and learn, I suppose. Alright, so let's add the rest of our paper. So let's see, give you the measurements. This top piece here is just shy of 3.5 by 4 3. This piece up here is just slightly shorter, so it should still be the same width. Yeah, so 3.5 by just over 4 1/4. And it just slips underneath here just a little bit. There we go. Over here we've got that same pattern paper, and this one is 3 3 by 5 1/4. Oh, I gotta change my roll here. Okay, and then we lift it up and I've got one of the ephemera cards here just cut down a little bit. And then here I wanted the green to be showing to kind of tie that in, so I've done a little border of green with some of the kind of beige color. So this top piece measures 3 3 by 5 1/4. And this one is 3 3 by 1. Okay, and then we open it up. Do I like that or do I like that? I think I prefer I might cut this one down just a smidge. And just quickly re-ink it here. Okay, this one is 3 1/2 by 7 1/4. Open it up. And this piece is also from the Steampunk Spells, I believe. I just wanted a little bit of orange in there. And so this is what I had. Oh, and it is 3 3 by 7 1/4. This one is 3 3 by 7 1/4 as well. Okay, and then open this up. And the green here is 3 and 3, probably by 7 1/4. Yep, by 7 1/4. Okay, and now, so I wanted a swing tab to close this. So let's figure out, I want this to cover it. Might do it up here a little bit. Alright, so right about there, pop out this little. So this is from the chipboard tags sheet. It's the Master Detective. And I'm just going to mark somewhere up here where I want to put it. Okay, so I'm just going to punch a hole just in the pattern paper itself. Okay, and I'm going to use one of these. I've got these Finnabar Mechanicals brads, and they're all just like little squares. So I'm going to use one of those. And I'm going to attach it to the paper itself. And open the tines. And then I will put this piece of paper down. And I'm going to add a little bit right over top of that brad so that the tines stay where they are, and then place this down. And now this last one over here, what do we got? We got 6 and 3 by 7 1/4. This one was 9 and 3 by 7 1/4. Okay, close that back up, and this should be perfect. There we go, excellent. And there we go. And now I wanted to have some little pull tabs for this to make it easier to pull up and down. So I ordered these from an Etsy seller. I forget at the moment who it was. I'm going to have to look and put it in the description box. But we've got a little pipe, some handcuffs, a violin, some keys, a bulldog, a padlock, the Big Ben, and a gun. So they're really cute. So I'm going to use a couple of those as kind of pull tabs. So let's see, maybe we'll use Violin and the pipe, maybe? The pipe's a little, maybe I'll get something flatter. The violin and the keys, perhaps. Or yeah, there we go. I'll use the lock up there and then the keys down here, I think. Okay, so I'm just going to attach both of those with a little brad, and then you've got something you can kind of pull on. And I'll use those same Finnabar brads. Okay, so mark a little hole. You don't want to go off the page, so right about there. That's centered right about there. And we'll put that through. Sorry if my head is in the way. There we go. And we'll do the same down here at the bottom. Right about there. You don't have to do this. I just think it's nice if you have something to grab onto to kind of help pull this up and down. I'm just going to do the tines on the back here. There we go. Alright, now when we grab these, there we go. See, that makes it a little bit easier to pull. Okay, perfect. If you like, you can add another one over here. Should we add another one? Maybe. Let's add one more. Which one? Maybe the gun? Sure. Let's add the gun. I guess I could have used my I could use my what do you call it? My crocodile, since it's so close to the edge. One more of these, keep them all looking the same. Oh, well, that was silly, Katya. Well, now, because I forgot that I had pattern paper on, because this is an afterthought here, so we'll undo the brads, but then I'm going to have to cover this little hole with something. Okay, so the gun looks really cute there. Now, let's see. Maybe we'll put one of these little, well, we'll put a little Sherlock Holmes. This is a lesson in mistakes are made. They will be made for sure, but there is always some little way to fix them. MacGyver them. Okay, there we go. Alright, so that is page 5. Now we are going to flip it over and we will begin with page 6.